Hi, this is Chris Nielsen with Breaking Up with Fear. I'm here with Lei Wang, and she is an incredibly accomplished and interesting person, and I will let her introduce herself to you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lei Wang. Um, I am the first Chinese woman to complete the world's 7 summits, that are highest mountain on each of the 7 continents, and also ski to the North Pole and the South Pole.
And
However,
when you say 7 summits, you went to the top of Everest. Is that correct?
yes.
Wow. Yeah.
But when I started this journey, no one believed it was possible because before I started my daydream, I was a book nerd. I grew up in Beijing as the best student all the way in school. And then I went on into a professional career in IT and finance. So by whatever means, I had no athletic background. I didn't grow up understanding anything about sport or mountaineering or even basic fitness. So when I had this daydream back in 2004, my first question is understanding what is a hiking. And I need to understand how do you get off highway to get to a trailhead. So I started really from zero foundation. And that time people laughed at me thinking that's totally daydream. It's not even possible. No one take it seriously. And frankly, I didn't even take it seriously because my goal, although my daydream was to climb Everest at that time, my real goal was I want to go to the gym. I want to start running. I want to be healthy. So that was my real goal at the beginning. But then, of course, along the way, as I start to dig deeper to figure out how to go to the mountain, how to put my hand on the rock, then before I know it, I was totally in love with mountains. So I went far and far and ended on top of Mount Everest in 2010, which is
That's
exactly.
incredible. Yeah, that's incredible. A lot of people really fear doing Mount Everest because they hear about all the people that die on that. And what was your fears about climbing, and how did you get over those fears?
The fear is more than just the dying, because actually a lot of people think about mountain climbing, they only see the physical challenge or see how scary that could be. Actually, the hardest part for me is this long journey, starting from when I had this daydream till the day I really set my foot on Everest. Because during those 6 years, when I was starting from running, going to the gym, to learning climbing, the process I went through, not just the physical, I also have to decide how do I choose between my career in a finance or IT job to a dirt bagger on the mountain? How do I choose my life between a comfortable mid-class life in a beautiful city to someone sleeping in a tent and living just on the cheapest food possible and all the money not go to the fashion but go to buy gear? That's a totally different kind of lifestyle. And what future I'm going to choose? Do I want to choose between I can be promoted, get a raise, and get a title, get on a glorious career track, or someone who probably you don't know if you're going to summit, you don't know if you're going to come back alive, and you don't know how you're going to make a living after that. What's life going to be? So that much more fear than just choosing, do I want to put one step ahead or not?
Right. Right. What made you make that choice? What was the driving factor that pushed you to do that?
Well, at beginning was more without thinking it's because of my passion. I totally fall in love with climbing, so I just want to go climbing. But when
Hmm.
it comes to the choice between, all right, now it's a career track or an unknown future as a climber, at that time it was really hard because people tell me you had all the best education in your life, you had the best career in front of you, and why you would ever even think about go climbing. But I was just thinking at that time is why I was on this career track. Why did I choose to pursue this education, that career track, everything? I couldn't answer because I realized when I was choosing those tracks, I didn't think. it was like automatic. You are on autopilot because, of course, go to school, that's a natural answer. After school, get a job, that's a natural answer. So everything was like sleepwalking. You're not purposely pursue anything. And climbing was the first thing in my life that not only no one tell me to pursue, but no one even give me a hint or direction to pursue. Actually, people are against it.
Mm-hmm.
Why I would pursue this? That's like, oh, so this is the first time in my life I'm consciously thinking about choosing something instead of unconsciously following a track. Then I realized that's something people call the passion. I never know that word exists before. I never even know what's it like, other than when you fall in love with someone, you can call it passion. So that's like first time in my life. So I figured if at this time when I'm still young, I have a passion, but I'm afraid of losing this career track. I'm afraid of the unknown future, everything. The next time when another passion, maybe this passion about starting a business or taking on something more exciting, will I have the courage to pursue it? Then when I
Well,
look
so will you have the courage to pursue your next passion?
right, if that passion is something everyone approves, say you're going to start next Amazon, everyone going to say, yeah, you should pursue that. Why pursue it?
What so it is a big fear to jump from something you know so well, like the career path you're on that you're so far on, to heading on this trip to climbing Mount Everest. What were the thoughts that were coming in your head, and what fears did you overcome to make that happen?
Well, the fear about climbing actually is more about fundamentally who you are,
Mm-hmm.
your belief, what kind of philosophy you want to follow in your life. Because when I was debating between these two, I was thinking, from here, I'm standing here looking at this mountain, this two track in front of me. I don't know how to choose. It's very confusing, very intimidating, scary. And I say, what if right now I am 80 years old, way down the road, looking back at my life? What would I say to the younger me to say, hey, girl, you should stay in your job and do this, do that, and live the life like everyone else? Or you should have given it a try. You never know where that's going to lead you to. So I
So
figured, yeah.
so what did your 80-year-old self say to you?
Well, my 80 years old said, you better fail than not try it.
Oh, I love your 80-year-old self. Yes, I love that technique you use too, to actually go to the end of your life or near the end of your life and
Mm-hmm.
look back and help yourself make that decision. So I love that. I think people can take that and use that for themselves. Go further in your life and look back and see, what would be the best decision? Which one would you regret more? Which one would fill you up more? So I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah, I have been using this technique quite often later on because I learned that trick and I thought, oh, that really worked at that time. So whenever I have a hard time deciding, I found that you step into the future, look back.
Yes, absolutely. I love that. So you stepped into the future, looked back, and your 80-year-old self told you, what did she say again? Don't worry about failing.
You'd better fail than not try it.
You'd better fail than not try it. I love that. And so what did you say when you heard that? What did you do? What did you say?
I'll say, I don't know if I will succeed, but at least I know I tried, I did my best. Then I will have no regret.
Ah, beautiful. So you living a life now where you can look back, help yourself make a decision, live a life with no regret. And that takes getting over a lot of different fears. Can you tell us a story, fear on one of these mountains or your trek to one of the poles? I would love to hear a story of how you got over a fear on one of these trips.
Well, I can use the example on Everest. Everest, by no doubt, is for me is the hardest mountain I ever climbed in my life. The
Hmm.
expedition is 2.5 months long because you have to trek to the base camp and acclimatize to the altitude. take a long process. Then you need to wait for the weather, for the weather window to summit. So it's a long process. So in that long time, so many things can happen. First of all, your health. At a high altitude, your health can be compromised easily. Everyone gets sick in some way. Then the pain, the breathing the thin air at altitude, it's so much pain. Like you don't sleep normal, you don't breathe normal, you have a headache, you cough all the time, and you sleep in the base camp. All you hear all night long, day long is the sound of avalanche. You know
Oh.
that's so real. It's not something you watch on the TV. At the beginning, we heard the first avalanche where people, oh, what's it? Where is it? After a while, you just sleep through it. You think, you don't care. You just pray you're gonna be safe. And then the first part of the trip is going from base camp to camp 1. You have to go through a section called Kumbu Ice Fall. That's the most dangerous section on the mountain. Avalanches happen day and night. The huge ice block, like a house, like refrigerator, dump on you. You have no control. And it's quite a long trip, several hours to cross that section. You can't just sprint and run. You have to go step by step, but also praying, nothing going to come down to kill me, but it's not your control. So that you just have to have the faith. You know this is the part you have to go through. So that's a big fear. A lot of people is deterred by that section. And there's a lot of unknown factors. You can hold on for 2 months working so hard, but the weather may never turn good. You never summit, or the avalanche destroy the whole route. No matter how hard you work, you cannot go across. And you spend so long in that kind of pain, uncomfortable condition. But you know what? You can just hire a helicopter. You can be home in 2 days. So easy. So when you're just waiting, okay, do I suffer for 2 months? Don't know what's going to happen to my life. I may not summit. I may get nothing for this 2 months suffering. Or my loved one, the warm home, the fair play, the beach, the loving arm, it's just 2 days away. That is a very hard decision.
I bet.
You're just debating every day. Do I stay or do I go?
So did you ever have a day where you go, oh my gosh, I can't do this anymore? And if you did have that, what got you through that?
Well, I didn't think I would now do it, but actually the harder part for me is one, starting from day one. I don't know if you can see how high I am. I'm no more than 5'2". I'm the smallest, the slowest, the wicked person on my team. From day one, I can see from the eyes of my Sherpa, they were shaking their heads, telling me, no way, you are not cut for Everest. So every day I know that's on their mind. So every trip I go through, I was the last one. I was constantly under the doubt of how far I can go. And on top of that, I felt sick halfway through. The doctor had to send me off the mountain for 5 days to recover in a village. When I was sitting there, all I can do is taking double dose antibiotics, drinking tea, stay warm. I can't even speak. I lost my voice. During those 5 days, every day, one of my team members came by to say goodbye because they are going home, because
Wow.
they are done. And that time they're thinking, wow, I'm the one who is sick. And the people who look much stronger, healthier, they even have doubts. What is my chance? So every day I have that question, but I just tell myself, I'm not going to quit unless it's a health reason, safety reason, performance reasons. If not, I'm not going to quit. I want to see how far I can go on this mountain.
I love that. And what about, I mean, obviously you're an incredibly strong-willed person. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm mentally stronger than my physically strong.
I mean, I love your will and the power to actually do that and see that, because most people, I think, if they got sick, it would be their excuse to then go home. You know, it'd be their reason to go home. And I love your story that, you know, these people came by and said that. So what got you out of that village and back to base camp and then to the summit?
Well, when I was sitting in that village, I have Facebook. So I get on Facebook and I see my friend all sending the encouraging message and
Mm,
all praying for my safety, sending love to me. And I know why I was on this mountain. Because back in 2004, when I had this daydream, my thought was, I wonder if an ordinary person like me can climb Everest. So for all the past so many years, the support from my friend is sending me a message
mm,
that I
yeah.
am on a journey for many, many other ordinary people, not just for myself. I want to show other people what an ordinary person can achieve. How far can I go? So that I cannot back down unless it's health, safety reasons. I want to go as far I can to show people what's possible for an ordinary person.
I love that. And I would say you're an extraordinary person for even saying yes to this.
I definitely trained myself to have I would call myself have extraordinary spirit, have
Ooh, I like it.
internal strength.
You do have extraordinary spirit, and you trained yourself to have extraordinary spirit. So what would you suggest to someone else that wanted to have an extraordinary spirit? What would you suggest they do?
That I would encourage people to try something big, bold, hard that you think is not possible. You think they're beyond your reach, but you have that daydream. Everyone has a little dream, has a goal in their head, but they probably mostly telling yourself, no, I don't think it's possible. It's beyond my reach. It's just totally daydream. No, a lot of time it's not. You just need to dig deep to work on that. You can achieve much, much more than you think. And as a coach, that's what I want to do. I want to help people to achieve those big goals. I want people to have a big, bold life.
I love that big, bold life. And so let's go back. You got out of the village and you went back to the base camp. And then how did the rest of the story go?
Well, I first went back to the doctor, told him I finished all my medicine and I feel much better. The doctor checked me and say, if I want to continue, please, you can do whatever as long you feel okay. So there's no reason for me to say I should have to go home. So I went back and continue with the team. And I think it kind of this 5 day resting in a village actually helped me. Actually gave me more time. Everybody different. I need more time to rest. So that happened to give me more time to rest. So I actually felt stronger after that.
That's great. And so then when did you, what was the day of the summit like?
Well, the summit day is like the wall, the white wall behind me. There's no view. So we actually summit in a whiteout, stormy condition. So I didn't get to see what's the Earth look like.
So it was total whiteout and you didn't get to see the view?
I didn't see anything. I barely can see. All right, that's the top. And there's a flag. And there's the people. Okay, that's the summit.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything. That was a big road. It's kind of disappointing, but I always like to joke about it because so many summits I've been to are totally wiped out. And every time I think the universe is sending me a message telling me the real summit, the most exciting part is in my heart,
Mm.
not where you come here to look for.
The exciting part is in your heart. The summit is in us. So you did your own internal summit with it as well. I love that. So what was it scary coming down, or how was the trip down? What was that like, and coming back to the,
Coming down is always the most dangerous part of
yeah,
climbing.
yeah.
Because on the way down, you're so tired. And if you, on the mountain going up, because the how you move, actually it's much safer. But on the way down, you are so easy to trip yourself, and weather normally deteriorate on the way down, and you are so exhausted. So most of the disasters things happen on the way down. That is super, super cautious and super tired. super nervous. And at some point, I was wondering, I hope I don't die here. I hope this is the end of the story. Especially the worst part is my parents didn't know I was on Mount Everest.
You didn't tell them?
I couldn't tell them because I don't think they can handle it. So I keep
Yeah.
on saying, I don't want the news line to be Lei made to the summit, didn't come back. And that is the only news my parents got to know. I cannot let that news line go to my.
Right. Yeah. So how long did it take you to get from the summit back to base camp?
That takes several days actually,
Okay.
because so long. The first day you go back to high camp, you rest at night, then you go down to camp 2, which is 2 camps away. Then from camp 2, you have to cross the most dangerous Kumbu icefall again to get back to base camp. So that's like 3 days.
And how many days did you actually cross that dangerous section, the ice section?
That is between base camp and camp 1. So every time we go up and down the mountain, we have to cross that section.
So you did it multiple times then?
Yeah, so you go through that up and down at least 3 to 4 times.
And so, I mean, you said it's the most dangerous section. So what got you to go, what got you to step forward versus say, no, I don't want to go through that again?
Because there's no option.
No option.
You don't go forward, you will never get back safely.
Yeah.
So, no matter how tired, how scared you are, only way is to move forward.
I think sometimes that's absolutely true. What would you like to share with this audience? You know, someone who's looking in, how would they get a hold of you? How would you like to connect with them? And maybe before you do that, share some of the big lessons for you. I know there's some nuggets already for me in this. What were the big lessons for you? And then what would you like to share with an audience what to get out of this?
Well, life is pretty short, and having something that you're truly excited about is a rare gem. You have to treasure that moment when you find your passion. If you don't have it yet, I can help you to dig deep to discover your passion. But when you have it, cherish that passion, act on it. Because if you don't act on it this time, next time, are you going to be able to find your next passion and have the courage to go for it? And life's so short, go for the big, bold goals so you can have the most exciting life you want.
I love it. So go for the big, bold goals. And it is precious when you find something that excites you and to go after it. And I bet you can help people find it just as you found your own. So how would they connect with you? How would people watching this find you?
Well, I welcome you to visit my website, journeywithlei.com. And please feel free to email me, Lei, L-E-I, at journeywithlei, that's journeywithlei.com. Email me and I'll be happy to set up a free consult session with you. And I want to help you to discover your passion, dig deep, and reach your big, bold goals to have the most exciting life.
Yes to big, bold goals. Yes to having an exciting life. And thank you so much, Lei, for sharing this with us in this particular journey. You'll have to come back sometime and share maybe some of your other journeys. I think it's powerful lessons from Lei today. And yeah, I hope you check it out. I hope you give her a call or go to her website. I enjoyed the story and hearing all this. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. Please check me out and contact me at Lei at journeywithlei.com.
Thank you.
Thank you.